Tommy Robinson enters BBC lobby. Laura Kuenssberg's unspoken reaction sparks debate. You're not going to believe what just happened inside the BBC headquarters. While most people were glued to the general election coverage, Tommy Robinson, yes, that Tommy Robinson walked straight into the heart of Britain's most powerful media building. And the moment Laura Kuenssberg caught sight of him, her expression said it all. No words needed. Just one look, captured, analyzed, and now spreading like wildfire across social media. This wasn't just a visit. It felt like a line was being crossed. And now, the public's asking, what was he doing there, and why now? Let's break it down. It happened earlier this week mid-afternoon, quiet outside, but inside the BBC's main London office, the atmosphere shifted. Tommy Robinson, the polarizing activist, often banned from platforms, rarely given mainstream space, entered the BBC lobby, calm, camera crew in tow, and made no effort to sneak in unnoticed. Security didn't stop him, not right away. Staff took notice. Conversations paused. Phones came out. And that's when Laura Kuenssberg, the BBC's veteran political editor, reportedly looked up from her phone and locked eyes with Robinson. According to multiple onlookers, her face froze. Some say she looked shocked. Others say it was more like irritation, even concern. But here's the thing, she didn't say a word. She simply turned, spoke briefly with a producer, and walked off. And that silence, that reaction, people are calling it the real headline. Now, here's where it gets even more interesting. Robinson claims he wasn't there to cause trouble, at least, not in the way critics might expect. Sources close to him say he was attempting to challenge the BBC face-to-face, to confront what he believes is years of narrative manipulation, smears, and intentional blackouts around his stories. And whether you agree with him or not, one thing's clear. Walking into the BBC lobby was a calculated move. It wasn't just about a confrontation. It was about symbolism. The BBC, after all, represents something massive in Britain: tradition, state media, national identity. For Robinson to enter that space, uninvited, while filming, it sends a message. He's not waiting to be invited anymore. He's inserting himself directly into the room. Reaction has been explosive. One former BBC producer tweeted, "This was a warning shot not just at the BBC, but at the entire mainstream establishment." Another post read, "Laura's reaction speaks volumes. The media can't ignore him forever." But others were less supportive. A political correspondent from The Guardian wrote, "Robinson is a provocateur. This wasn't journalism. It was a stunt." Still, even critics admit the tension is real. Social media is flooded with theories. Why now? Was this linked to the recent Channel crossings debates? Or perhaps a reaction to being left out of national discussions during election coverage? One thing's for sure, this wasn't random. 4 years, Tommy Robinson has existed on the fringes, locked out of mainstream debates, labeled dangerous, often banned from platforms altogether. But now, with growing disillusionment in traditional media, rising distrust in government, and fractures inside the BBC itself, figures like Robinson are finding new ways to re-enter the narrative. And what better stage than the BBC headquarters? Whether you see him as a truth-teller or a destabilizer, the message he sent that day was unmistakable. He's not going away. And the BBC, by refusing to comment, by letting Laura Kuenssberg's face do the talking, they may have said more than they intended. The real question isn't why he walked in. It's why the reaction was so tense, so immediate. What are institutions like the BBC afraid of? Why does one man walking into a lobby create this much noise? And most importantly, if this is just the beginning, what's coming next? Because right now, everyone's watching. And silence from the media won't stop the public from asking the hard questions anymore.